Hey, this is Rick Kasalich, injury specialist from exercisesforinjuries.com. In today's video, I wanted to go through a few knee pain exercises and stretches. And Jenna will help me out, and she'll go through the first one and demonstrate it, and then I'll go through in detail, and then we'll go through the next four. Perfect. So that ends up being the first one, knee extensors with bands. So you have a resistive band. It could be a looped one like this, or it can end up being a handled one like this. You've got it around the arch of your foot. You're sitting down. You're straightening the leg out, and then you're coming back. So with this one, you're strengthening the muscles around the knee, but also when your leg's in a straight position, if you're tight, you'll end up stretching out your hamstrings as well. Looking at the sets, reps, time, and intensity with this one, sets end up being 1, repetitions will end up being 10, time, smooth controlled movement with a good stop at the end position, about 1 second, and the intensity, you want to feel it in the muscles around your knee. Now moving on to the second exercise, so this is toe pulls with band, so the legs straight, or you're going to straighten that, relax the knee. So we'll relax the knee, and then we'll straighten the knee out, and then we're going to pull that toe back, and you're looking at more of like a calf stretch, so stretching throughout that calf, and then relaxing, and then pulling that toe back, and relaxing, and pulling the toe back. Good. Now this one, you'll end up feeling in a couple areas. You might end up feeling the ankle, working on ankle mobility or ankle movement. If you're tight in the calf or the hamstrings, you'll end up feeling it there. And with this one, it's more, it could either be an ankle mobility exercise or a flexibility exercise. Looking at the sets, reps, time, and intensity, sets end up being 1, repetitions end up being 5, time, smooth controlled movement, with a good hold at the end position, so roughly about 2 seconds. In the intensity, it depends where you're feeling it. You could feel it in the ankle, where we're working on loosening things up, or you might feel it as a stretch in the calf or in the hamstring. So that's the first two. Now moving on to the third one, this ends up being a quad stretch with band. So you're moving on to your stomach. You've got the tubing looped around. Okay, there. Let's try this. Okay. And bring the heel towards the seat, and you can increase or decrease the intensity with the tubing. And with this one, you want to try to have the knee underneath the hip, and we're looking at stretching out the front of the thigh or the quad. And pull and just increasing the resistive on the tubing. You're going to hold it in one position, ideally. Perfect. So with this one, what we're looking at is mainly a flexibility exercise, so increasing the flexibility in that quad. And if we can increase the flexibility in that quad, then we end up having less stress or pull on that knee, and that helps when it comes to knee pain. Looking at the sets, reps, time, and intensity, sets end up being 1. The reps end up being, I would start off with 2 repetitions. Time ends up being a smooth controlled movement, and then holding that end position for a good 20 seconds. And looking at how intense it ends up being a light stretch in the quads is what you're looking for. That's 3. Now moving on to the fourth one. This one ends up being seated leg lifts. So you're having a seat, you're going to lift the leg up, holding it for a second, and then coming back down, and relaxing, and then going through that movement again, and back down. So legs straight, toes straight up, slow controlled movement, coming to a stop, and then back down. With this one, we're focusing on strengthening the quads, but also carries off into the hip. Perfect. Looking at the sets, reps, time, and intensity, with this one, 1 set, repetitions end up being 5, time, smooth controlled movement with a good stop at the end position, about a second. And the intensity, you should feel it in the quads and even into the hip area. But we don't want it to all be hip movement. We want to get some quad movement going as well. Okay, moving on to the last one, the fifth one. This ends up being a single leg squat. So Jenna's up against the wall. She ends up having her hand up against the wall because I'm not worried about balance. I'm removing balance. I'm looking at more strengthening the muscles around the knee and strengthening the muscles around the hip. So she's standing on one leg, then she's going to bend through that knee. Good. Bringing the hip back, bringing the upper body forward, and then coming back to straight. And then again, knee forward, hips back, upper body forward. Good. And back up. Working on strengthening around the knee, strengthening around the hip. Looking at the sets, reps, time, and intensity, sets end up being 1. Repetitions are between 5 and 10 repetitions. Time, smooth controlled movement with a good stop at the end position. The intensity, we want to feel the muscles around the knee and around the hip working. So there you go. Give those 5 exercises a go. If you have knee pain, they're great knee pain exercises and stretches that'll help you overcome knee pain. Now, if you want some of my other best tips and tricks when it comes to overcoming knee pain, then click right here. I have a brand new free report called 5 Tricks That Fight Knee Pain and Tightness. Click right here. Let me know where to send you that free report, and I'll send you that free report right away. Now, if you're watching this on a mobile device, tablet, or smartphone, head down below in the description and click the first link, which will end up being exercisesforinjuries.com/knees. Let me know where to send the report, and I'll send you that report right away. Now, if you have a question or comment for me, you can leave it down below in the comment section. If you got benefit from this video, make sure to like this video. And lastly, hit subscribe to get future pain relieving videos.